The other day, I walked by what I lovingly call my guilt closet in the basement. You know the one. It's not junk because technically everything in it could be useful. But the truth is it's full of things I've been avoiding. A computer I don't ever use. Craft supplies from a hobby I swore I'd start. A phone charger for a device I don't even own anymore. So I just sat there staring at it all, feeling this weird mix of shame, frustration, and exhaustion. Because these aren't just things I haven't used, they're little reminders of a version of myself I thought I should be by now. But here's what hit me like a brick to the forehead. We don't talk enough about clutter and how clutter, emotional clutter, physical clutter, can actually cost us money. And not just money, it costs us time, focus, peace of mind, even our confidence. Hi everybody, I'm Sarah from frozenpays.com. I'm a financial coach and the author of Fundamentally Frugal. And I help women simplify their money, get out of debt, and finally start living for themselves again, not just everyone else. And if you've looked around your home and still thought, why do I still have this stuff? This video, it's for you. Today we're going to talk about 7 very specific things you should sell. Not just to make a few bucks, although that's a nice bonus, but to take back your space, your energy, and your sense of control. Now, one of these hit me hard when I realized it was tied to a version of myself I hadn't been in 10 years. And another, let's just say if you've ever kept fancy glasses out of guilt, we need to be friends. The very best part, it's now yard sale season, so if you have the space to set up a sale, it's the best time. Take notes. That one-day hobby gear. Now let's start with something I know a lot of us have. Tucked away, the tools of the hobby that never really happened. Maybe it's a Cricut machine, a set of oil paints, a keyboard, or a full photography setup. You bought it with the best of intentions. You pictured yourself learning something new, tapping into creativity, maybe even turning it into a little side hustle. And then life happened. Now, every time you walk past it, you feel that tiny twinge of guilt. I should have really used that, but deep down, you know you won't. Now, here's the truth. You're allowed to change your mind. You're not a failure for not becoming a candle-making queen or mastering sourdough. You're human. You tried something, or maybe you didn't even get that far, and that's okay. We need to try things. How else would we know what we're good at? Selling those items doesn't mean you're giving up on your creativity. It means you're creating room for the interests and the passions that actually fit your life today. You're not just clearing space, you're cashing in on a version of yourself that you've outgrown. Now, we have a town-wide garage sale every year at the beginning of August, and I am being relentless with the things that I no longer use. I have a lot of crafting stuff that I'm getting rid of. Anything that my grandkids might want, I'm saving, like the cardstock scrapbooking paper and the beads for jewelry making. Most things are going away. I can't stand the cluttered mess of the basement anymore. Number 2, emotional heirlooms you don't even like. This one might sting a little. You know that antique dresser from your great aunt? Or the mismatched china set that's been boxed up in the basement for a decade? Or maybe a set of figurines you inherited from your mom but never actually wanted. There's a gentle truth. You do not have to keep something just because someone else loved it. We attach so much emotional weight to heirlooms, even when they're not serving us. We keep things out of obligation, guilt, or fear that letting go means letting go of the person. But love is not stored in a dining room hutch. If something makes you feel burdened instead of blessed, it's okay to let it go. Selling it doesn't mean you're erasing the memory. In fact, you might be passing it on to someone who truly wants and values it, which gives it a new life, instead of it slowly deteriorating in your attic. Now I have multiple sets of china that I'm getting rid of. I'm taking one set of each and letting go of the rest. And I'm going to use each of those. Now this one can be emotional. Take your time. But know this, letting go of things that no longer reflect your life is not selfish. It's sacred. You're allowed to find peace over preservation. Number 3, clothes that represent a past identity. Open your closet. I'll wait. How much of what's in there still fits your life? Not just your body, but your actual day-to-day life. For years, I held on to high heels that I wore all the time everywhere. And I hadn't worn them for a while because as I got older, I found comfort outweighed how cute they actually looked. And I told myself, well, You never know. I'm going to hold on to them. But deep down, I did know I wasn't going back. And even if I did, I wouldn't want to be wearing the version of myself I had to be back then. We hang on to clothing from past careers, past sizes, past phases, past seasons. Sometimes even clothing we never wore, but hoped to. We think we're saving it just in case, but what we're really doing is keeping ourselves stuck in an identity that no longer fits. Selling those clothes is about more than closet space. It's about acknowledging your evolution. It's about releasing the pressure to be who you were and giving yourself permission to step into who you are now. And let's be honest, if those jeans ever fit again, you'll probably want new ones anyway. Number 4, decor and collectibles you don't even display. Let's talk about that shelf of knickknacks you dust but don't love, or the box of holiday decor that haven't seen the light of day since the kids were in middle school, or the full collection of Beanie Babies you thought would totally be worth something someday. Let me ask you this. If it's been in a box for more than 5 years, is it really a treasure? We all have stuff we keep because it used to mean something, but if you're not actively enjoying it, it's not serving you. It's silently draining you. Here's a fun rule I try to live by. If something is in storage and you've forgotten it existed, it's time to set it free. You are the curator of your life. You get to decide what belongs in your space. And if those collectibles or seasonal items aren't bringing you joy, maybe they're really ready to bring joy to somebody else and earn you a little cash in the process. This is where platforms like Facebook Marketplace, eBay, and even local consignment shops can help you turn clutter into cash fast. Number 5, old tech that's quietly dying. We all have that drawer, that bin. You know, the one filled with old phones, chargers, tablets, cameras, and mystery cords we're just afraid to throw away again, just in case. Let me save you the suspense. You will not need that iPhone 6 charger ever again. And that first generation iPad, it's not coming back into style like vintage jeans. Old electronics are one of the most overlooked opportunities to sell, and they can be surprisingly valuable. Even if something's outdated, parts can be harvested or refurbished by companies that specialize in tech recycling. Sites like Declutter, Gazelle, or Buyback World make it easy to ship off your old devices and get a decent return. And local repair shops or refurbishers often pay cash for working electronics. What's important here isn't just the money, it's the decision. You're saying, I'm not tethered to the past, I'm clearing the way for what's next. There are also recycle programs that pop up all summer long to dispose properly of electronics if you're not able to sell them. Number 6, unused fitness equipment that shames you. The treadmill that became a coat rack. The stationary bike that watches you walk past with a guilty glance. The yoga mat that you only use for stretching while watching Netflix. Fitness gear is one of the most emotionally charged categories in our homes. Because it doesn't just take up space, it holds our unmet goals, our should-haves, and all the silent shame we carry around not being better. But here's what I want you to hear. Letting go of that equipment is not giving up on yourself. It's choosing honesty over fantasy. It's saying, this method didn't work for me, and that's okay. Let's find something that does. Sell the treadmill, sell the resistant bands you never opened, and if you still want to prioritize movement, find something that actually fits your life, like walking with a friend, dancing in the kitchen, or stretching you enjoy, or even going to the gym and meeting new people. You're not failing by letting it go. You're succeeding by choosing what feels aligned, not what feels like punishment. Now, I have a really nice set of weights that I bought secondhand with only the best of intentions. This August, they're gone. Number 7, gifts you never used and never will. Let's talk about the scented candle you're allergic to, or the novelty waffle maker that's still in the box, or that necklace a friend gave you you've just never worn because, well, it's just not your style. We've all kept gifts because we didn't want to seem ungrateful. But holding on to something you don't love doesn't honor the giver. It just burdens you. You can appreciate the intention behind the gift without keeping the item. And the truth is, most people would be horrified to know the gift is causing you guilt or clutter. Release those items doesn't make you rude. It makes you intentional. And if you can sell them, even better. You're turning something that brought zero joy into something that could pay for your next weekend getaway or your next tank of gas. So you might be thinking, okay, but how much of a difference does this really make? Here's the part no one talks about. It's not only about the money, it's about the energy. Every item you sell is a decision, a release, a reclaiming of your space, of your identity, of your priorities. It's a reminder that you are not your stuff. You are not your storage bins. You are not the past version of yourself that those items represent. By selling these things, you're creating financial breathing room, yes, but you're also creating emotional and mental space to think clearly, to live lighter, and to move forward. And that is priceless. So what should you do with the money you make? Well, that's up to you, but I recommend being intentional. Here are a few of my ideas. Add it to your emergency fund or your retirement savings. Put it toward paying off a lingering debt. Do a big pantry stock up. Invest in a current passion or course that supports the version of you are becoming. Use it for something joyful, like a weekend getaway or a dinner date you've been putting off. Whatever you choose, let it be something that affirms your now, not your someday or your used to be. Now, here's what I want to leave you with. You are allowed to evolve. You're allowed to let go. You're allowed to outgrow what once felt essential. And if you've ever felt like frugal living is just about clipping coupons or skipping lattes, I want you to know it's so much deeper than that. True frugality isn't about deprivation. It's about discernment. It's about choosing what adds value to your life and releasing what doesn't, physically, financially, and emotionally. Selling the clutter isn't just a clean out. It's a reset. It's practicing frugal living at its highest level, intentional living. When you let go of the items that no longer serve you, you stop pouring energy into maintaining a version of your life you've already outgrown. You create space for clarity, for peace, for what really matters right now. Frugal living says, I don't have to keep everything just because it was once expensive or gifted or held sentimental value. It says, I'd rather have less stuff and more freedom. So go sell the thing, not out of desperation, but out of power, out of wisdom, out of alignment with the version of yourself you're choosing to become. Because this next chapter of your life, it deserves grace. It deserves lightness. It deserves the kind of frugality that feels like freedom. And if this video spoke to you, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and watch this video next.